Fiat money doesn't stay contained. Every reserve currency eventually exports inflation to the world because inflation isn't accidental, it is structural. When a currency becomes dominant, it stops behaving like money and starts behaving like power. Fiat systems remove natural limits, but reserve currency status delays the consequences of doing so. That delay creates the illusion of stability, while imbalance quietly accumulates. History shows this pattern clearly. Every system that controls trade, settlement, and debt gains the ability to live beyond its means. Babylon leveraged trade routes, Persia standardized tribute, Rome enforced imperial coinage, Britain ruled through sterling. Each empire used monetary dominance to absorb value inward while pushing cost outward. That outward pressure is inflation. Inflation doesn't strike evenly. Those closest to the source of money creation adapt first. Institutions hedge. Asset holders reposition. The effects then move through prices, wages, commodities, and finally across borders. Other nations importing goods, energy, or debt from the system begin importing inflation with it. This is why inflation becomes global long before collapse becomes visible. The Bible does not treat this as a technical failure. It treats it as moral distortion. Scripture repeatedly condemns false weights and dishonest measures because money is not just a medium of exchange. It is a measure of trust. When that measure is corrupted, relationships collapse alongside markets. Debt, in biblical terms, is not neutral. The borrower becomes the servant of the lender. When a reserve currency dominates global debt, that servitude scales upward, from individuals to nations to entire regions. Inflation is how that imbalance spreads. History shows reserve currencies do not disappear overnight. They weaken as trust erodes. Trade routes shift, alternatives emerge. The center continues functioning while the periphery absorbs the shock. Food, energy, and basic stability fracture first, not at the top but at the edges. This is why monetary collapse is never local. Fiat systems export their disorder before they ever face it themselves. History calls this collapse, Scripture calls it imbalance. An imbalance, once global, never resolves quietly.